Okay, so what I want to do in this video is say a little bit about how you cope when you wake up and find that it's not an ordinary day. So what I mean by that is that this video is aimed to help you cope when things go a bit strange, or whatever you call that, whether that's being out or dissociation or psychosis or whatever. I don't really like all this language. So the first thing is to wake up. So it doesn't mean waking up in the morning. It means waking up anytime during your day and realizing, I'm going out. I'm crossing over into the other state. So this isn't easy for a start. Perhaps, I mean, I usually know when it's happening, but it can be subtle. So it might be that you notice that you've got more anxiety inside. You might notice your stomach or sweating or kind of panic attack type feelings, claustrophobia, emotional reactivity. You might feel like the world is closing in, there's pressure. So this is one, or things start to look a bit strange, that people look more distant, behind glass type thing is I mean, I've experienced it many times. So you get this kind of feeling that people become more distant, that you're in another kind of reality to them, or they look like a bit like ghost figures sometimes. And there can be feelings of fear when you're connecting with people. So I'd feel like curtains, that you're crossing through a curtain, and then this is another kind of state. Or you may start to hear different things around that don't perhaps appear to be heard by others, or see things. So so one thing is to try and realize and wake up, okay, I've gone out again. It may be that you need the help of other people for this. So this is important. If you're a person, I mean, this is my reality as well. If you're a person that has this kind of easy transition to non-ordinary states, then it means that your reality experience at times contains inputs from collective reality and subjective reality. So it means whether that's thoughts, dream type images, the actual whole reality is a kind of blend. This is not something to be ashamed about or worry about. It can be a gift, but you need to learn about it. We can't do too much now, but just to understand, okay, so I'm a person that has this kind of opening into a blended reality. That's my experience, and it means you can't just hold it tight and grasp it and be very defensive of this. If someone else points out that that some aspect of your reality is different to theirs, then see if you can be a little soft and open with this rather than defensive. This might be a kind of paranoia type thing, or worry, or idea, or any kind of things. So a little bit of space with that, and a bit of tolerance for others who have a different reality experience. Yeah, so if you can do this, they can help you to know when you're going out, and this is really valuable. as soon as you are able to look at your reality with this little bit of space around it, this is magic, because you then have a reliable island to stand on. So your stability is standing on this little island, able to look at your own experience with a bit of space and not hold it too tight, and know that it's a blended reality. It's not reliable. There may be truth there. There may be things which aren't always true, not so much true, and that's okay. Okay, so that's first. So waking up. This is its own mega skill. Okay, second point is handling your inner reality. Yeah, so this whole video is about being independent. So I'm assuming that you're trying to gain a capacity to be independent and manage your own life as far as is possible. So the first stage is handling what's happening inside. If you have a crisis coming up, then the first thing that I always do is find my safe place. So it means I need to retreat. So whatever was going on, whatever tasks that the world is presenting, even compassionate ones, you need to communicate with people that this is not going to happen for a little while. And sometimes this is not easy to do, but as much as possible, you let go of everything. And your job has now become self-care. So you come back to whatever place that you can find which is safe. Yeah, perhaps that's something that you can create beforehand while you're in a good state. So whether that's a bedroom or private space or whatever, you need to find your own safe space. And ideally, in that space, you'll have a toolkit of things that you can do to self-care. Okay, so what to do in your safe space? So you need to take care of yourself. I would be a little patient. Don't try and deal with problems, whatever's difficult. Focus instead perhaps on taking care of yourself. So the first thing, if you are anything like me, the first thing that you need is to rest. Yeah. So make sure that you can get a quiet environment. If other people are stressy for you, they have their own needs, then see if you can create a boundary. I mean, I've done this many times, and if the people around are not helpful for me, then I have to apologize and close the door, and so I'm retreating into my own space. Have a quiet environment, some calm. You can use music and things if that's helpful. Rest your body, maybe sleep if you can. You need food, healthy food, calming drinks. So you have this feeling, okay, I'm going to hug myself. That is the beginning. Try not to worry about what you're experiencing, what's happening. Don't engage with this. I mean, it will be there, but your job is going, okay, I'm going into this care mode. Yeah, I use lots of different things in my kind of care pack. So I have a few essential oils, smells that I find helpful. I mean, mine are maybe personal, but I like spike lavender, grapefruit, frankincense. But it might be that you like other oils. I can get myself out of panic attacks just by smelling some spike lavender. But having like a creative kit, so art kit, watercolors, it doesn't matter, children's watercolors or crayons or things, paper, even playing with things, plasticine, Lego type things. So creativity is a really good activity in this space. You want a way for emotions to be able to come out, and in my experience, you don't need to put them out there in the outside world. You can use, say, your creativity. I once painted a earth on fire with red fire and burning. I was in the middle of an intense experience, and all of the emotion, and I'm physically creating this thing, and there's lots of emotion going in, and I had a burning earth that looked more like a sun. So there can be lots of emotion going into this kind of thing, or black, dark paintings of things. You can get it out onto the paper. I'd even physically tap. Not very good for the brush, but I choose a cheap brush, and sometimes make sounds like a child even. So there's an emotional release happening while I'm doing the creative things. So artwork in this sense is really good. You can use the voice to release emotions. I use a Japanese practice. Perhaps I'll share a video of that at some stage. So using the voice, whether it's singing or using like a sound toning release, there are ways to release emotions. There'll be another video in this series where I'm using the breath and yawning, and we'll see what we can share over time. So what I'm suggesting is ways to release emotion and not going straight into mindfulness type practices. They're great, but for me, you want to do a bit of emotional work first before doing that, and then as you feel a bit calmer, then you can start to do a little bit of kind of self-awareness grounding. So first thing is just lying down on the bed or the floor, and let go to the floor. Feel the surface beneath you. Try and let go. You might have all sorts of stuff going on. The goal here is to be brave and do nothing. So all the time an urge is coming, an archetype's coming, a journey thing. Come on, go up, do this. No. Come back to just doing nothing. Lying down, sitting. Feel the floor. Notice how your breathing's moving. So get a sense of this thing being alive. I know it can go weird. I've also had this where the body doesn't feel like it's got any substance to it, and you just falling through. In the end, you can still feel the floor underneath you. There is experiences, contact, and try not to let this thinking mind go. Just come back to listening to some guided meditation, some nice music that's there. So you have to just stop this whole thing. It's like it just wants to whiz away. Stop it. Yeah. And at least because you're listening to me now, you know, okay, I'm not the only person that's experiencing this kind of stuff, and there is a way out of it. So this is so the mind itself hopefully can relax a bit from hearing this, because I've been to lots of places and I'm still here. Okay, so we can start to do a little bits of doing nothing. I won't say meditation, because that feels like too much doing. All you're doing is stopping. That's what you want. So this process is something which wants movement. This spiritual crisis thing, it wants energy and movement, and we want to slow it down. Yeah, at this stage. So getting down to just lying on the ground, sitting still, listen to a bit of music, maybe having a nice smell in the room, doing some colouring. Let it come out when it wants to. Oh, okay, stop. Now I'll do a bit of colouring or something. So my hint here is to be patient. So I've really experienced the energy of the unconscious. It's not patient. It really wants you to do things now, to save the world, to do this, to think through this big thing that's coming. Oh, I understand all this. It's great. I don't want to deny the value of the experience. It can be something, a big opening and a mystical thing, but be patient. Respect the fact that you're in a body. You have to sort out your nervous system to calm down. There is time. You've got the rest of your life to explore the learning. The learning comes and you can explore it over time. So patience and slowing down. And when in doubt, do nothing. So this is a little bit about managing inside. There's a lot I can say, but I'm doing what I can now. The next thing I should say quickly is health and safety. So I'll say a bit more with this later. Your job at this time is to take care of yourself and be safe. We'll talk more about the external environment and care decisions later, but at this stage you have to stay safe. So even more than normal, when you're a person who's in this kind of vulnerable state, you have to take responsibility. Otherwise, the environment takes responsibility for you and you lose control of this. So it means that if you get any thoughts or urges or things inside which might be causing you to do activity which is harmful to yourself or to others, stop. So I've been through this myself many times, whether it's kind of inner voices telling you to hurt yourself, things with images. I don't use the word hallucination because they're real for me. They're as real as the outside is. So if there's imagery in your reality which is suggesting things which might cause harm to yourself or to others, or just voices or aggressive things or devious things, this is tricky. So you get called onto missions to save the planet or the universe, but part of it involves a bit of self-sacrifice. Okay, this is devious stuff that comes from the mind. When I'm giving you a hint of the tricks that come in there at times, I don't know the roots of these, but if you get any of these things, my saving question was, what is love now? Yeah, what is love now? What is self-compassion? And the answer might come up, okay, it's to take care of myself now, not to follow with this journey that's happening. So any kind of thing like this, you have to go, wake up, stop, come back to the sitting down, come back to your little care package, and come out of the journey. So it's going to keep pulling you, but come back to this little do nothing care program. Okay, so that's health and safety. If you can't do this, we'll say more later, then you have to get help from other people. Okay, so next topic. I want to try and keep this as focused as possible, but there's a lot to say. So we've talked about inner management. The next topic is outer management. So with the outside world, with people around you, whether they're friends, family, people in shops or outside, medical things, my experience is that if you're in this state, then you need to have things as smooth as possible. That is not, always easy, but you cannot cope with emotional conflict, with stresses, with challenges, and so you need everything as happy as possible. And this gives you more support to then deal with the inner state work. So what I suggest here is avoiding conflict. So that means ideally that you be humble, polite, respectful to others, compassionate to other people. Try and understand their reality. So make effort in this. What you have in this state is a whole pile of me. All of this inner world and everything else that's come boom, 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 boom. And I'm saying, okay, that's great. But try and make a big effort, maybe more than normal, to tune in to the reality of others and understand that this can be different to yours. You might, like I've had at times, you might perceive people as not real, as kind of shadow ghost figures, like virtual cartoon characters. That's how I experienced people. Give them the benefit of the doubt. So it's like a hypothesis that they are a character in your reality that's going round and round. They're also a real person just like you. And so you hopefully know how to relate to people, give them the benefit of the doubt. And the more you can listen and be compassionate, the easier it will be for you around. But sometimes it feels like playing a game or faking things, but do it. So you carry on being quiet and respectful. And if there's strong emotion around you and conflict, then my suggestion is you try not to get pulled into that. Try and calm things, apologize, even say, okay, at the moment I can't cope with this, I'm sorry. If necessary, retreat back into your space. In my case, with my family, I would do the director's cut. I would go cut, because I knew I could not handle the conflict. And if they could not respect that and the emotion calms down, I had to leave the space. So this is how I coped in extreme emotional time. And the people don't like it. If you do a director's cut, they get very upset because their emotion comes back to them. But you can't do anything about that. So either they understand this and they're mature, or you have to leave the space. Because otherwise you end up getting all emotional and strong, and it all goes haywire. Okay, what else to say? So I have a sense within this, you're creating a calm environment around you, managing your external emotional environment, but doing it with compassion for the other people. Trying to understand their needs, bridging to their reality. And what I don't recommend is sharing too much of your inner reality with people that can't cope with it. It creates too much fear. So if you're lucky, you've got people around that can understand. If you're not, then be compassionate to them and just share what you can, but not everything, because it's too much for people. You have to deal with it yourself, and maybe listening to this video gives you some feeling of support that you can do this. I can do this, and hold my inside world, and then share it in a responsible way. Okay, so there's a little bit there about handling the outside world. I'm going to do another little bit now on outside world. So outside world part 2. This is, what do they need? If someone's calling you crazy or mad, or they're saying you're psychotic, they want to section you, if they're a psychiatrist, I see that what they're saying is that you're not doing your part. You're not playing your part. Yeah. No one wants to take responsibility for another human being. But they're doing so because you're not playing your part. This is maybe more honest than is being shared normally. So we don't mind if someone is eccentric, if someone is a little bit unusual, even if they're a little bit bad sometimes or naughty or whatever. Yeah, children get away with a lot. What we don't like is, as a society, is when people don't play their role in society. We have to all be our certain characters. And it's important to understand that, especially if you're in this kind of sensitive group. So what do you need to do? And what people want is an indication of self-awareness and lucidity. So you need to demonstrate, okay, I know what's happening. I'm aware. I'm a person with a sensitivity to going out into non-ordinary states, and maybe I'm out at the moment. Okay, so you need to be aware of this, and if you can say this, but so I'm out a bit, but I'm taking care of myself. So as soon as you can demonstrate this lucidity, okay, you're doing well. And if you can be open to other people helping you, this is amazing, yeah? And not defensive or aggressive. So 2, the world wants health and safety. So even more than normal. So general public can get away with doing dangerous things at times. If you're in this sort of spotlight of being a person with a vulnerability, then you need to demonstrate more awareness of health and safety, yeah, for yourself and for other people. Yeah, so you really have to take care here. You can't go running around doing dangerous things because you're in this spotlight. So you have to be helping everyone around you to relax that you are taking care. You need reasonable emotional stability. So if it's going all over the place, then the people around start to get nervous. So this is my big discussion on inner work in your safe space. And hopefully you can find ways to do this. Personal responsibility. So it's the big one here. You are taking responsibility for your actions yourself, for your care, for everything else. So that's it. Independence. Respect for others. So you really need to be taking care of the people around you. It's not about being a robot. It can be a genuine feeling, but the more you respect others around you, the less they'll feel that you need to be locked up. Following society rules. So it can be completely anal. The norms of being British, of going through the society and doing the things that we do and everything else. But okay, this is the reality. We are what we are, and we have all these social norms of things. Yeah, you don't take your clothes off and go running around the streets singing la 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 la. It might be great fun. It might be a very healthy thing to do, but we don't do this. So you have to follow good British rules or whatever country that you're from, in privacy, maybe in your own garden if it's private, or in some space, then you can do that, or you can do something else. You can't go around and decide you want to, paint all over someone else's wall. I mean, okay, we have plenty of people doing graffiti, but in this state, we need to follow social norms, and so this is what it is. So when you do this, then as long as you can internalize your experience, then and take care, then no one wants to lock you up, especially at the moment. Okay, so next point now, care decisions. I think it's important to say that this video is not about trying to keep anyone out of hospital. Yeah, so if you are not able to do what I've tried to talk about in this video, and you need to have a strong support environment around you which is keeping you safe, keeping others safe, then you have to go with this. This is we can hope that the actual psychiatric care environment is as compassionate as it can be, as wise as it can be, but in the end, if you can't manage these independent rules of navigating your experience, then you have to go there. I've been inside in my case in China, and this was necessary for a short time. But if you can manage on your own, especially at the moment, at this time when the world is in crisis, then that's the best thing for everyone concerned. So that's the point of this video, to try and help you to not need to cross over that line where you give away responsibility and or have it taken away from you. Okay, right, final conclusions then. Oh, I should say a bit more about care decisions. So it may sound like what I've been saying here is lone samurai warrior type path to handling your experience. It's true in my experience that you need to do quite a bit on your own, because people around can't necessarily handle what you've got. But at the same time, the more you can share with others, connect with others, you need to find the right people. That's important. So if you're be compassionate with your family, friends, people around you, communicate as much as possible with them. Maybe they can learn, or they can listen to this and get more understanding. So as much as possible, meet them, but you have to understand their fears and where they're at as well. And then find, if possible, people that you can communicate with who can relate to your experience in a non-judgmental way. So see what you need from other people. It's good to be vulnerable, to express your need, and generally from that space people can approach you more easily. So do seek out help, but find the help that's useful to you. And if that is, say, going into doctors and psychiatry, if that's where it's going to be, even with antipsychotic medication, it's not nice stuff. But if you're not finding other ways to ground, come to stability, take care of health and safety, then that's probably going to be a good idea for a little while. Okay, the final point. Everything we've talked about here has been about stability, safety, taking care, slowing down. I think that's got to be done first. The final point is that in my experience in these inner journeys, you're having it for a reason. It's not meaningless. And so once you've got to a calm place, once you're managing things a bit, then you can start to explore this inner journey. It's like, in my case, it was like a psychotherapy laboratory. So every object around had meaningful representation for me, and it was a way that I was working with my own mind, organizing things, creating rituals, writing, journaling, painting. There was so much learning about myself and inner healing. There was also kind of journey type work. I don't know if it was real or not real, but I felt like I played my part in that, and so there was kind of heal the world type journeys, or being the Buddha and creating things. From my experience, it's good to work with that, but not let it take over too much. So and keep it, pace it. Yeah, don't let it take over. So it is good to go into your safe space and start to reflect, to work with things, but while staying as relaxed as you can. So you can do some inner journey work, but don't get too tired, and bail out and try and get your sleep, do you relax, and so do both. Yeah. Okay, I hope this is helpful. And if one person manages to not go over the line into psychiatric care at this time from watching this, then I'm very happy with this video. Thank you very much.